Okay, this for all my music nerds, this will be the fun part.
All right. Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know or can't really read the name of the channel, I'm Adara on Adara Loves Music, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my first single that I'm releasing called Mars. Here with me today is my producer, Ange. Do you want to give a little intro?
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Hey, I'm Ange. Ange makes music on everything. Um, and yeah, I'm super excited. This was a really awesome song to be a part of and the whole project. And yeah, I'm excited to really dive into, what we did and the process behind the song. Okay, this for all my music nerds, this will be the fun part, I think. Um,
Yeah.
because there were so many like little things I think in the production that you were able to kind of capitalize on in your
Mhm.
songwriting, knowing that it was like mostly a pre-made beat. Um, Here, let me share my screen. Yeah, favorite part of the song. I think for me, honestly, it is verse two.
And we can
Okay.
go through the beat too.
Hey, no, you're never alone, never be. Hey, no, you're never alone, never alone. Shining in the neon lights, you know you look so good tonight. And we don't gotta care about all this and that, but you just where we're at, that's the latest stride. Look up in the sky, Mars is looking bright tonight. Live, feel the rhythm of the road and the drive, stars shine, hand in mind, we're getting through the night. Feel the rhythm in the moment that we're vibing. Tomorrow's heavy, but tonight we ride high.
So there's so many things that stuck out to me in that, but if we were just to start with like the first sort of eight bars there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so one thing was, yeah, I put these on a separate. Ooh, what did I just hit? Okay, I put these on a separate bus so that it would be a lot more airy.
Oh,
And so the echo actually resonates throughout your entire like phrase as well. I don't know if you could really hear it as a whole production, but
oh yeah,
um
I really liked that addition just because it kind of really helped to fill out the space when like the instrumental dropped down from the chorus.
yeah, and part of why I did that too is because in the beat as well, um, I took the main melody and I put the octave down in this verse, right? From the
We
original.
never
Um
Yeah.
the original one is like this. Yeah, so what I did was this is octave down, and I kept the chord sort of the same.
Oh, that's really cool. I and I kind of liked that too, just because it really did kind of bring the energy down for a really reflective moment in
Yeah.
the song. And I kind of like when I kind of started writing that part on top of it, like my vision of what I was thinking when I was writing that was basically just doing that moment where you're just like, hey, hey, you're not alone, okay? I'm here.
No, I love that. And I think what you did matched sort of the vibe very well there. Because I also took out the bass at first. So it was just mainly higher frequencies. And then there's this little perk that I love that goes throughout this whole thing. That's like this really spacey.
Yeah, I really love that percussion sound. It is really
Yeah.
awesome.
I really like that too. I like adding space in like small things in the drum bus. I think looking at it now, one thing I could have done better is add more reverb. Oh, I did actually, but it still sounds a bit um I think it could be spacier, maybe. But I'm also listening to AirPods, so I can't totally tell. um, but I think it was cool, like having that, and then also in the drums, in that I also took out the snares. Like the snares, I think are really the main focus of the drums. Usually, like the kick and the snare, especially throughout this project, is really keeping the pace going.
Oh
Versus, like
yeah.
you said here, to make that sort of reflective space, I took out both of the snares because I have two in this one. And it was just the kick that I think gives it a lot of like grounding feeling,
Hmm.
as well as the turning down the melody, the octave lower.
Yeah, then that was like a really cool effect that I thoroughly enjoyed just because, like, as you're saying, just kind of having that grounding moment artistically
Mhm.
was really good to kind of push forward that message at that moment.
It's something I like to do in general is like have a bit of even in like high energy songs, even just have like something, especially in the second verse that's just different. I love to switch up the second verse and just have something either like I'll reverse some synth sometimes or have just something that's kind of a different style that then it can pick up again in the last chorus. I just like to do that in my own production, um,
Do you
rather it
want to
being
like
like
do you want to
repetitive.
show the difference of what you switched up for between verse 1 and verse 2?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great idea. So for the beat itself, verse one is mostly like this. Yeah. And then just sort of like I would say the chorus as well is it's very similar. I did add these like open hats, and then obviously the kick comes back in, but it really just keeps the energy pushing in the chorus, which I would consider usually like I would say the climax, maybe the highest energy point of the song. Although sometimes one thing I do like to do, which I don't think we experimented with on this project, is like do a no drums chorus, where it's the verses are the energy and the chorus is like the calm part. I do like doing that too.
We should try that on, like, I have an idea for a different project that we can try that on.
Ooh, okay. We will circle back on that one. Um, but yeah, so then it basically when the kick and the hi hat comes in, the open hat just this is not the best diagram because it's not in MIDI, but it matches where the snares are, so you get like a double kind of effect.
Oh.
And I also changed the lengths of them, which you can kind of see here, where it's like it's shorter versus it's longer, which I like to do that. I love playing with open hats. That's probably one of my favorite drum sounds to mess with.
Oh, I could definitely tell because it's like all over the tracks that you make.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Another thing I did too for space is in the second snare here, I did put like a tremolo on it. So with the current snare, it's just in the center, the first snare, so that it would like pan from left and
Oh.
right on the second snare. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but I just wanted it to be like this sort of spacey, twinkly vibe is very like obvious here. And so just to enhance that, I feel like drums do tend to be mostly center, but I like to have little things be, you know,
Yeah,
left and right. Um,
that adds a lot of interest and like a lot of just kind of energy without like having to add more layers to it, which is really cool.
yeah, something that I wanted to keep in this song too was the energy is there, but I still wanted to keep it spacey, which is kind of a
Mhm.
almost a contrast in a way where usually spacey it will tend to be more of a low energy, calm, almost like more of a trap soul kind of vibe or like more R&B, which is where the R&B influence comes sort of in here is more in the processing more than it is in the actual production.
No, that's completely fair. And I think that's kind of cool just because it kind of ends up writing a nice balance between a little bit of that R&B flair, but also keeping it in that pop genre.
Yeah, no, for sure. What was your favorite part of the song?
Um, if you can't tell, vocal layers were always my thing. I adore adding vocal layers, even though like
Just to show y'all, like, yeah, she cheated Joyers, we'll say.
I love vocal layers to a point where I sometimes add too much. And that's kind of the thing that I end up. I think that was a thing where I really learned with this song what was too much. Because, yeah, I ensured my earlier drafts. I'm not going to show them here, but oh boy. You see stacks now. Stacks, stacks on stacks on stacks. And
Yeah.
that was one of those things where it's like, okay, it's time to practice some discernment now. What is too much?
But I also think the great part about I would say creation in general is like you can add as much as you can first and then remove. Like that's I think the
Oh,
best way to do it is like make as much
it's
as you can. Yeah, and then you can
It's
go in and be like, okay, there's this. This doesn't really fit. Like it might sound nice, maybe it doesn't fit the overall emotion that you're trying to convey or the story that you're trying to tell.
exactly. And that is definitely the story of this song is like, okay, I found what I want. It's basically you kind of had to really pick your moments on where you wanted the harmonies to go
Mhm.
and really pick what type of sound you wanted to highlight or what type of just kind of lyric you wanted to highlight, but
Yeah.
also like just melody in general. And a
Can
lot of
I
my
just
choice,
say,
yeah.
sorry, you, I was going to say, you did such an amazing job of picking your moments for harmonies. And we can dive into that more if you want, but you can already just see, like, visually that, it's not like, I think a lot of people do this, and I've done it in the past too, where if you do a harmony for a section, you might do the whole freaking section. Like, you did a great job of picking your moments where you wanted certain harmonies.
Yeah, and that was kind of like a lesson I had to learn with this song too, because like there were in my earlier drafts, there were definitely some times where it's like the whole section's harmonized,
Yeah.
and it's like okay, you take a look at that and go, all right, what's actually the most important part? And it's making decisions like in this chorus here. I kind of wanted to have a little bit more of a grounding sound to it. So I had like the
Mhm.
low harmony at a just not even harmony, it's just an octave down, just kind of tracking this the entire time to add a little bit of grounding to it. But then picking a couple of moments to add in another harmony stack, like to kind of give it a little bit more of that, like it's not jazz, but I do say jazzy sometimes.
Mhm.
Give a little bit more of a cool sounding to it, and then saving kind of the more larger harmony stacks for like the higher energy points.
Exactly. That is, I was just going to say that exactly, where it's like you chose the points where it was climactic, the end of the chorus, where it's transitioning to a new section. I love how it grows throughout the chorus. And I think this is something that when I saw you do it, I was like, oh, I got to do that in my songs because that's not something I've always done. I've definitely chosen high harmonies in like certain points, but also having the mid harms in
Hmm.
as like also growing was something that I rarely see this in projects that I work on. I do think it's something that's a lot more professional that you've done here that I was really impressed with.
Oh, thank you. This was definitely me just kind of vibing and feeling it out because I have I have a fairly large range, and so that at least allows for a little bit more of the harmony production sometimes. So it was really fun to kind of just go like, okay, at what point can I succumb to my horrible instincts and be a choir of myself?
I think, yeah. Do you want me to play this actually? Just kind of this chorus, just the
Yeah,
vocals,
go
so
ahead.
that way you can hear. Yeah. Um, let's do a little space.
Riding on the highs of the bubbly, I know I'll be alright. Cause I know that you still got me. So put the drive, and we feel like stars flying through to Mars. Sometimes.
Oh, the little whistles. That's like my favorite part, actually. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I get so giddy when I listen to the acapella of this.
Yeah. I was just like,
Um, and just to also talk about something else too is like the ad libs and the whispers. This is my favorite part. Actually, I'll take back what I said about the second verse. This is my favorite part, and it's these little whistles slash. And I put them on the same tracks. I process them the same, but the whispers and the whistles. So like to give an example here, this is kind of the whispers. Oh, sorry, that's my tracks.
oh, you're
Uh,
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just that's so it just matches the vibe of the song so well. And I know this is something that you've done on other tracks too, but
Mhm.
in this one specifically, it works like a charm. It's probably the most beautiful ad libs or slash double whisper tracks, whatever. Like you're the way that you're able to play with having a strong voice and also using like softer like dynamics is
Mhm.
also incredible.
Yeah, that's something I was really practicing and working on with that one is just kind of, and I think when I got this idea, I was listening to what was that song? There were two actually. One of them was it was Pussycat Doll band. They're like,
Mm.
nobody gonna love me better. I should probably not sing it, but that song, "Stick with You," just kind of that whispery vocal was just really inspiration for me for this part. And then also, I learned a little bit from like, what's that Beyonce song where, um, "Naughty Girl"? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I actually was able to get find like some sort of video or like find a producer to be able to just kind of like rip the vocals away from the track so I could just hear some of the like background textures that she was adding to that one.
Yeah.
And I just really liked those whispery moments in those songs and I was like, "Whoa, that is such a cool texture when you add it in with the main vocal."
Yes, I love doing that. When I'm like doing reference tracks, because Logic actually has a native function that allows you to split the stems into like vocals, bass, drums, guitar, piano. Um, and I love doing that. When I'm studying a song, I'll listen to it a few times first and like write down my notes, and then I'll break it apart and look at like each of those layers, and that gives you so much insight, not only as a producer, but like also as a vocalist or a vocal producer, into like what are you hearing and like can you actually pinpoint it? Because it's a skill to be able to hear a whole song and pinpoint
Mhm.
each of the layers. But once you can visually see it, it makes it so much easier.
Oh, definitely. And having that just kind of breakdown just really like taught me a couple of different just vocal tricks to do to help with like just to kind of help with ideas and stuff. I will definitely also say like I used to be a bit of a K-pop nerd, but having some of those vocal breakdowns are really good too for like understanding a lot of different types of vocal production on that because their vocal production over there is top notch.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's cool too when you can take inspiration from different styles, because then you can make your own style. Like I think if you just were to study pop, or you were just to study K-pop or R&B or soul, like you will kind of end up replicating what other people have done just in that genre. But
Hmm.
in order to make something new, you have to listen to a wide variety of music. Um,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it's like trying different things like that whistle that you like that was
Oh,
just
that whistle.
oh gosh, I don't know what came over me for that one, but I was just kind of like, I think I was listening to a little bit of bluegrass where they're just whistling a lot. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try it.
Oh my God, I love this whistle. Oh, it just gives me the chills. Like I love it so much. And it just
Yeah.
matches also the vibe that we've created here with the twinkly synths and like sort of the higher frequencies, in general, of like being really bright. It's
Hmm.
perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, it was so nice. And oh my God, you do not know how many takes that took.
Oh my God.
I
I
am
can't
not a good
imagine.
whistler. I'm not a good whistler. Like, honestly, it was getting to a point where I'm just like, I need to find somebody. But then I got it and I was like, yes.
I've never been able to whistle. I could probably do it if I tried like really hard, but I can't whistle. So for me, this was even cooler because I'm like, whoa, Adara's got all these different voices in her.
Yeah, I do. And that's something like you'll see on like Sway is I think Sway is like the epitome of look at all the voices Dara's got.
That's true.
Oh gosh. But yeah,
But I was
is
gonna
there
say
any
before too, one last thing also I just realized in the second verse is you did a really great job of mixing up different rhythms. Here is
Mhm.
like I'm gonna take this off for a sec. It was like basically every four bars you switched up a rhythm. And that is not very common in pop. Like it's much more of a almost like a hip hop style to change your cadence every like 4 to 8 bars. Usually in production, you say, change something every 4 to 8 bars, but you change the whole freaking rhythm. So I just wanted to give you kudos on that as well, because when we listened to it back, I meant to say this before, but yeah, like the way you were able to do that so seamlessly was really impressive.
Shining in the neon lights. You know you look so good tonight. We don't gotta care about all this and that. Be just where we're at, that's the latest stride. Look up in the sky, Mars is looking bright tonight. Live. Feel the rhythm of the road and the drive. Stars shine, hand in mind, we're getting through the night.
So, thank you for going through the DAW and having a moment to just kind of sit down and nerd out here and talk about like artistic intention and also just the things that you do in production that are really, really cool and really made this song come alive. So, thank you so much for going on this journey with me, Anj.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. It's been an honor. Like genuinely, I love working with you and I'm excited to keep going. We could talk more about that idea about the no drums chorus as well. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm probably going to eat too. So we can go get a food break.
Yeah, food break. Right. Well, thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. Bye. Thank you for watching.